So in this Gaslands video, I'm going to be building my entry to the GaslandsUK April competition. The rules are to build a car that's from a video game or a cartoon. That could either be a faithful recreation or a Gaslands version. Clearly I'm going to go for a Gaslands version because that's all I build is post-apocalyptic stuff. So initially I was going to build the charger from Half-Life 2 Episode 2. But I couldn't find a charger diecast and I still can't now. So at some point when I do find one, I probably will be building that for a Gaslands build, but I decided on something else. So looking through the diecasts that I did have, I found this Lledo, I'm not too sure how you pronounce that, but you can see it on the screen here, on the bottom side. But yeah, it was just an old Cadillac. It's actually, I'm fairly certain this is supposed to be Al Capone's Cadillac, but it might just be the same colour. Obviously the diecast is pretty badly damaged, so I can't really tell for sure, but I figured it looked a lot like the Mob's Bulletproof bomb from Wacky Races. Taking inspiration from the Mark Sexton Wacky Races Fury Road art, which I've already built a couple of cars inspired by his works. I decided to build the Mob Bulletproof bomb. So here's the diecast broken down into its pieces, just so you can see what it breaks down into and what parts I had to work with. And here we are with the finished build. Well, most of the build work done anyway. So again, like I said, I took inspiration from the Mark Sexton artwork, but I also wanted to add a few of my own touches. So I took inspiration from like the 1920s armoured cars with the riveted armour, just because I kind of like that look. So I intended to put 7 figures into this vehicle, but I realised with the windows armoured, you wouldn't really see all 7. And so instead of putting 6 figures in and 1 with the gunner, I just put 4 in because you're not really going to see the ones sitting at the far back. So we'll go for the parts list. So I used a auto-kill snowplow from the Red Steel sprue. The 2 lights here are from a bits box. The Michelin tyre mascot is from an artillery truck accessories kit. The grill is completely scratch built from styrene, corrugated styrene being used as the grill centre. The engine is made up of 3 different auto-kill parts. We've got the air intake from the air intake sprue, the engine from the engine sprue, and the exhausts from the exhaust sprue, which I kind of cut up and modified and made my own little custom engine. The armour is just some simple styrene cut into squares and some styrene tubing cut off to act as the rivets, glued in place. All the figures are from the Ramshackle Games 20mm conversion kit, which I would recommend picking up because I've had this kit for years and just there's that many bits in it that I've still got plenty of bits left over, although I am running short of figures now. So the wheels are from Zen Industries and they're 9.5mm military wheels, and I put some Zen Industries spikes on the centres. I'm not too sure what they call them, but I've always known these as kneecappers. So the back was very inspired by the cross-country races of the 1920s, where they would just pile on a lot of stuff. Just used 2 more Zen Industry tyres and a jerry can from Chemsel Designs. The turret was made up of scratch building and 3D parts. I used the front section of a flamethrower from Chemsel Designs, as well as a fog light. And then I used a Ramshackle Games gunner for the back and just kind of spliced the 2 together and made this custom creation. The rear storage boxes from the auto-kill hunting party sprue. So I moved on to painting this. I painted this a 2-tone colour, grey and black, like the original car. Unfortunately, as you can see with the black wash, it's kind of just made the whole thing a little too dark. Yeah, so after painting it the 2-tone colour, I painted on the logos by hand and then just dry brushed the rust on and then hit it with a black wash. Like I said, the black wash has kind of made it a little too dark, but you know, I didn't really think I'd have the time to redo the whole paint job and get it done before the end of April. So after doing this one, I decided to go back and put the Wacky versus decals on the other two cars that I did that were inspired by Mark Sexton and his artwork. I'm actually planning to do all the Wacky Races cars now, since I've got 3 of them, so once I find suitable vehicles, I will be building more. As usual, there's some glamour shots at the end, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.
you.